think we're still running on adrenaline, and I mean, I didn't sleep last night. Every time I shut my eyes, I just kept seeing it happening again and again. And I'm not ready to tell you about that yet, but you know, perhaps later today I can film a little bit and explain exactly what happened. But I think it's enough to say it was pretty horrific.
Good morning, and here we are in Mimizan. We had a great New Year, and we had a couple of visitors. I'm not quite sure where they are now. We had a bit of a late night, so I'm going to go and see if they're up. Is anybody home? I think somebody's in.
Can we have pre-warning so we can tidy?
Somebody's in, look, there they are. Good morning, guys.
Morning, you alright?
There we are, it's FieldView Adventures.
Oh!
There we go. We spent the Happy New Year with them, and what a night it was.
Yeah.
And there's the wee man on the couch.
Say hello.
Come on, Boo. It's 1 p.m. on the 1st of January 24.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year once again. And we're just about to say goodbye to our friends, FieldView Adventures.
Yeah, we had a lovely time with them last night.
Yeah, we met Stephen, Catherine, Zach, and little Boo, who's a little sweetheart.
They're off home.
Off home. They got about 600 miles to Calais, so a bit of a drive, but we wish them safe travels.
Yeah, but it looks like today the sun has been out. It's lovely and warm here today, so yeah, we're quite happy with that.
Had a walk to the
Little
beach
bit of
this afternoon.
sunshine.
There's somebody waiting at the door already. Aren't we?
Yeah. So this will be our third night tonight on this air, which is a camping car air.
Good girl.
And it's been really good value. I think it's been about 11. Is it £11?
It's
€11.
£10.99, isn't it? Yeah. €11.
€11, yeah, €11 a night.
But everything is on hand here. You don't get showers or toilets, or I haven't found them.
No, you don't.
But it's purely you get your water, services, grey, black drop, and bins.
Yeah. So everything you need really, and then a 15-minute walk down the road to the beach. So yeah, it's been perfect.
Yeah, we'll do the usual 3 words in the description.
Yep, but another one that we highly recommend, and yeah, great value. We've liked using this the camping car card this time, haven't we?
We have, and we'll show you a bit more of this place later.
Yeah.
As it is.
There they go. FieldView Adventure. Oh, and the water. Yeah, we had a bit of rain last night.
He says it does build up there, didn't he?
There we go. Right, so they're off to the UK. So we'll go back in here, finish our lunch, tidy up, and go for a walk. Look, there's the sun. There we go, he's just walked down to the beach and it's really lovely.
Sorry about the dog.
Yeah, she's excited. She loves sand.
Sand between the toes.
Yeah, she gets very excited. Just zone her out. But yeah, it's a beautiful little town, Mimizan.
Yeah. And it's what, 15 minutes from the air we're on.
Yeah, you just walk down.
There's a couple of the little shops open and a few bars, but I would imagine during peak times it would be absolutely busting. There's a lot of shops, knickknacks, food outlets.
And it's a really beautiful beach, really lovely. So yeah, this is definitely a great place to come. It's quite busy today, lots of people around, which I didn't expect. And I didn't expect, to be honest, any of the bars and restaurants to be open, but they are.
For New Year's Day, there's quite a few people out.
Yeah.
There are quite a few people at the beach, but the dogs aren't allowed on the main bit.
No.
But they are allowed elsewhere.
Yeah.
Which is why they're having a bit of sand and frolics.
Bit of sand fun. Yeah, so we're going to carry on walking and see what we can find. I don't know if you can hear me with the wind, because it is a little bit windy with the sea, the wind coming off the sea. There's some big waves out there. Red is putting the drone up. It's a bit windy. I'm going to say that now, just to preempt anything that is likely to occur. The sand is really pretty and soft. It's absolutely gorgeous here. It'd be lovely to come here in the summer. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, this is lovely. I gotta say, normally on a New Year Day, we go down to Ogmore and walk along the beach at Ogmore by Sea. So this is a bit of an improvement this year. Not that there's anything wrong with Ogmore. You've got to meet Kermit. This is the next drone that Redders is going to lose. So let me introduce you before he loses him.
A rose.
Does look like a frog though, doesn't he?
Yes.
I think about you when I should be sleeping, but you didn't know I wanna feel you closer to my skin. I think about you when my heart is beating, but you didn't know I wanna feel you, wanna let you in. This is what you do to me. Let's explore this fantasy. I could take you high.
I just can't believe this has happened. I've been bitten. You can see it's gone quite deep, but Dolly is the worst. Morning. We didn't film anything after the beach trip yesterday. Obviously that just ended in disaster. We're currently in St Paul le Dax, and we're just about to leave now and see if we can find somewhere for my hand. I downloaded the Dr. Libre or Dr. Lieb app, but it's almost impossible today to get an appointment to see somebody or to do a video consultation. So we're going to go looking and see if I can just present myself somewhere and get some help. Dolly's okay. She's sedated at the moment and they're looking to operate on her at 3 o'clock this afternoon, so that should mean we get her back by tonight.
This afternoon.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, yes, I heard this afternoon, yes?
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Oui, oui. For Dolly, okay, she sleep?
Yes.
She sleep again. We call you later in the afternoon, okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay, and she is good.
When she wake up.
Okay, has she had operation?
In the afternoon, maybe 15.
3 p.m. Okay, okay. Merci.
Okay,
Merci
thank
beaucoup.
you.
Merci, au revoir,
revoir.
goodbye. Okay.
Right, okay.
Well, we know she's asleep, she's fine, she'll have the operation this afternoon.
Yeah.
And there we go, this afternoon, yes. So there we go. C'est après-midi, oui, oui, oui.
Right, okay. Let's get my hand sorted out now. I don't know what to say really, to be honest. It's I think we're still just coming to terms with what's happened, and yeah, it's been a bit of a shock. It has been a bit of a shock for us, and
Oops.
yeah, I think the pair of us don't quite know what we're doing, do we?
No, I'm running around like a headless chicken, just packing things up to get ready to shift on, to get to the pharmacy.
Yeah.
You know, we need to learn more French, that's one big thing. Google Translate is great, but I'll be getting my head in those French
I
books,
think-
talking with vets and people.
Yeah, I think we know the basics, but once you get into technicalities of veterinary care and medical care, it becomes a little bit more difficult again. But yeah, we do need to brush up on the basics, because this area of France, not a massive amount of English is spoken. So, you know, it's on us to try and communicate with them as best we can.
Of course it is. I mean, Google Translate, you can use it in conversation mode, but that's by the by. The main thing is we're going to get Corin's hand sorted, off to the pharmacy.
You can see it's all bandaged up. And
Yeah, I did a good job. My first aid skills are still there.
look at that. That's red as first aid, that is. Anyway, I mean, the vet last night was absolutely incredible. She was so, I mean, what vets would actually patch up the human as well? That was so kind of her. And, you know, she would have given me antibiotics, but she said they do it by the kilo, and she'd have to give me an awful lot of tablets. So
Yeah, I mean, just very quickly before we do get off, she was admitted into hospital, and the vet gave us a 50% reduction so it wouldn't hit so hard.
I know
And
she felt terrible for
amazing.
us. She felt
But
terrible for us.
Overnight in hospital for Dolly is €22. It would have been 44, but she gave us a discount, bless her.
Yeah.
In the UK, we've paid over £500 for that before now through insurance.
Yeah.
And to see the vet, it was €89, which is
On New Year's Day
New Year's
at
Day
night.
at night on a Sunday. So really, they were worth their weight in gold. We did struggle to find a vet locally, or just to get a vet to pick up the phone.
That was about the worst hour of my life, because we had the dog with literally a leg hanging, the flesh hanging off her leg, and we just couldn't find a vet. We were ringing around. We must have rung about 15 vets.
And even to this point, leaving messages, they haven't got back. So
No.
it's not always guaranteed, but where we went to, it's a 24-hour animal hospital. There is always somebody there.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we found them. It was a 50-mile dash. We didn't have time to call the police. I'm dealing with Dolly's leg.
I think once when we get Dolly back later today, perhaps, and maybe later tomorrow, or, you know, once we've got things sorted and we both feel a little bit, because at the moment I think we're still running on adrenaline, and I mean, I didn't sleep last night. Every time I shut my eyes, I just kept seeing it happening again and again, and I'm not ready to tell you about that yet, but, you know, perhaps later today I can film a little bit and explain exactly what happened. But I think it's enough to say it was pretty horrific.
And on that note, I'm going to pack up and get us moving.
Yeah, let's get to the doctors. So today is, what's today? The third. Wednesday the 3rd, yeah. And initially, this isn't really a video I wanted to make. I wasn't that interested in talking about this or putting it out there, what happened on a video. But actually, to be honest, it's quite good to talk about it and sort of just unload it a little bit. So yeah, bear with me while I work my way through this. But we'd gone to the beach with the 2 dogs. Beautiful day, sunny, it was warm. The beach had several dogs just running around. Quite a lot of people were walking on the beach. It was lovely. We were having a really lovely time. I got to say, nearly all the dogs on the beach were off their leads, and it's such a massive beach there that you're very, very far apart from everybody. So yeah, our 2 were playing. They were playing with their chuck it ball, and you know, Dolly was trotting along with the ball in her mouth, and suddenly, out of absolutely nowhere, this huge black dog just hurtled down the beach and just latched onto her. She got away and it was chasing her. Of course, the owners suddenly started screaming at it to come back, and we noticed that they had another dog on a lead. They were screaming at their dog. Of course, Dolly was screaming as well. I was the first to get there. And as soon as I got there, the dog was just going at her. And I put my hand around her neck, which is fortunate that I did, because it was going for her throat, and it got my hand instead. So I came away with some puncture wounds in the end to my hand, which are pretty painful, but nothing compared to what happened to Dolly.
So we then discovered that as well as Corinne having a bleeding hand because of the dog,
Yeah, because we thought that was actually initially the only injury was just to my hand.
and I looked down at Dolly's back leg, and her skin had been ripped. It was a big rip, a huge rip that had sorry.
Yeah, I know.
There was a huge rip on her leg, and it exposed the muscles, and
We're talking
was,
about a flap, a huge, great big flap,
it
about
was
the
a skin
size of
flap.
a palm of the hand, and it had just been ripped, and it was just hanging off her leg by about that much.
Oh,
It was like a massive...
It was horrendous. So all I could do was
And
just
yeah.
sit her down, compress where it was to try and hold the skin in place, whilst you were trying to speak to that.
Yeah, I went
woman.
after the family. They had a little boy with them.
They had a little boy.
And I went after them and said, you need to come back. Look what your dog's done. You need to come back. I need your details. And she was given... Suddenly she could speak English. And she was like, no, you take... No. And I said, no, I need your details. We need to go to the vet. You will have to pay for this. No, she said, you pay. And it's like, I said, your dog's bitten me. It's dangerous. You need to come and see. So she did come, and she did look at Dolly's leg, and she just sort of went, nah.
I think she realised
They were in trouble.
It was trouble. The husband then came over, and I thought...
He got aggressive, didn't he?
He got aggressive. He lunged towards me, and my thoughts were Dolly and Corinne and our safety.
And meanwhile, their dog was still running around and still trying to attack. They couldn't get hold of it. And they were saying to us, because Pippa was still off her lead and standing back from the situation, and they were shouting at us, get your dog on a lead. I mean, I'm sorry, yours is still running around, attacking, and you want me to put my dog on a lead where it can't run away from your dog that's attacking, and I've already been bitten. I've got blood running down my hand.
It was a horrid experience, and all of a sudden, when I said I'm calling the police, they could no longer understand English.
No.
The husband just gathered everything up, and they just scarpered off the beach.
Practically ran, didn't they?
No.
They had a little kid with them, and they were dragging him.
They had a kid with them. It wasn't the place to start arguing full-on physically with people.
We had Dolly, and she was crying.
Dolly was crying. She was losing blood from her hindquarters. It was down to the muscle. It was white, not red. It was absolutely horrendous. And my first thought was, we probably walked about 1.5 miles to get to the beach, and we needed to get back and get Dolly to a vet as soon as possible. So
this is where a stroke of luck came in, because I shouted over to a couple who had a big dog, and I thought they're going to know where they could have been local, and I thought they will know where a vet is. So I called over to them in French, and she was American and her husband was English, and they'd come over from England.
Yeah, they were staying in the
so
apartments. They were really helpful. She explained that there was a vet that they used locally, and bless her, she actually went and got her car, took us back to the motorhome. We packed up and we went to the vet. Now, bearing in mind this was on a Sunday.
No, it was on Bank Holiday Monday.
Oh, it was on a
New
Monday,
Year's
right?
Day,
Sorry,
yeah,
I've lost
New
days
Year's
with
Day.
all this rubbish going on.
Yeah.
It was on a bank holiday, New Year's Day, and every vet you rang, we weren't getting an answer. It was going to answer machine or try this emergency number. We just kept on getting bounced around.
It was all in French.
It was in French,
and we must have rung about 17 different vets.
Yeah, and we could understand what they were saying. You know, we vowed to learn a lot better French after this horrendous experience.
Yeah, no, French isn't actually that bad.
It's not bad. I mean, we used Google Translate to work out what was going on, and to cut that long story short, I think it took us about 2 hours to finally find a vet who would see us, and it's a 24-hour vet in Dax.
So that was an hour and a half away, wasn't it?
It was an hour and a half away. I think we finally got seen by a vet at, what was it, about 8 o'clock?
Yeah, it was about that.
I think it was about 8 o'clock, and this happened before 3
about
o'clock.
3 o'clock-ish, yeah.
So we had Dolly in distress. We were just running on
Fortunately,
adrenaline.
here's the thing. I mean, probably we're going to come to you within the next week or so, and we'll do a video on what to do when you're in France and something goes very wrong and someone needs medical treatment or vet's treatment. We will literally work through with you what needs to be done and how you can manage to get all these things. We carry a first aid kit for the dogs. In that first aid kit, we have doggy ibuprofen, is it meloxicam or something like that? Meloxidil. And we also carry, from Dolly's previous operations, we had some codeine and paracetamol mix for her. So fortunately, because we had those things to hand, I was able to immediately dose her up with painkillers. So I think that's a very important thing. If you're travelling with dogs, set yourself up a little doggy first aid kit. See if you can get your hands on, you know, at least a painkiller. Because if something like this happens and you're stuck, like we were, for quite a long period of time, it certainly made us feel better as we were sort of racing towards Dax, that she was at least slightly under a painkiller. She was slightly better, so yeah.
So we got to Dax, and we used the sat-nav to find our way there, because the lady on the phone was very good English, and also again through Google Translate we managed to work out exactly where they were. It's a 24-hour animal hospital, so she was admitted straight away, but what she said was she would be held overnight and kept calm because they weren't able to do any surgery then. The surgeons weren't in until the following day, so basically they kept her overnight, gave her sedation, treated her, cleaned the wound, and on top of that they treated Corin's hand as well.
I know.
You know, they came out with
it.
iodine, wipes, cream, cleaned your hand down, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, we dealt with Dolly first, and then sort of once we'd got, you know, she gave her an antibiotic immediately as we went in. She was absolutely amazing. She was so kind. And then she sort of looked at me and I said, I must have done something with my hand or something. And she went, "You got bit too." So she just suddenly started treating me as well with iodine, and then she gave me some antibiotic cream. She wanted to give me actual antibiotics, but said we only do them in animal weights. She farted.
Dogs farted, sorry.
They only do them in animal weights, and she'd have to give me a lot, which is fair enough. That's true.
I thought that was a bit rude myself.
But she sort of gave me details of how to get a doctor, what to do the next day, and told me that I would definitely need to go and see a doctor to get antibiotics, and because it was an unknown dog, we needed to look into rabies, etc.
So we then went to an air just round the corner, and that was, what, €13 a night?
Yeah, it was the same camping car.
Camping car air, so you got hook up and so forth, so we didn't sleep at all.
Nope.
You know, Dolly wasn't here. We'd had a horrible experience, and please don't get us wrong, this video isn't here to gain views or clickbait or anything. We've had some genuine lovely comments from a lot of people asking after Corin and Dolly.
Yeah.
And I think it's key to share our experience, because I've never had to deal with this before in France or any country, so to realise that you need particular insurance, what you have to do and so forth. If somebody had created a vlog of this is what we did and this is how you do it, I think that would be handy. So it's a horrible traumatic experience that happened.
Yeah.
So we're trying to gain something positive out of it, which there ain't many positives.
No, I think we're trying to unpack it a bit ourselves,
yeah.
aren't we, and work out
We're still
what
trying
happened.
to process
and
it.
yeah, I think we're still in shock a little bit, to be honest, because the first night when we got back, every time I closed my eyes, I was exhausted, but every time I closed my eyes, I could just see the beach, the dog, and Dolly screaming, and her leg.
I know, it was the first time we're walking along a beach, the sun's out, the sky's blue, the waves are lapping, and I actually said to you, didn't I, this is great.
Yeah, and that was
really
literally
nice.
That was
Seconds-
about 3 minutes
seconds
before it happened.
So, you know, we're just sharing this experience
Yeah.
to help others, We will provide also a breakdown of the cost. It is,
Yes.
I mean, all in all, it cost €470 from dropping Dolly off in the hospital to picking her up the following morning, stitched, stapled and sorted.
Yeah. So once we dealt with Dolly, obviously she was in, we didn't know what time she was having her operation, which was yesterday. It was time to sort of turn our attention to my hand and get that looked at. So we actually found a doctor. We went to what we did was we went to a pharmacy first, which was just around the corner. And I went in and I spoke to the pharmacist, who spoke a tiny bit of English, and she gave me the details of a doctor who was literally about 5 buildings away from where Dolly was. And I just went in there, and the receptionist, again, yesterday nobody spoke good English at all. It was mainly down to me and my incredible grasp of Fringlish that we managed to get somewhere. But anyway, went in, spoke to the receptionist, and she said, "Oh dear, it's so busy today." And I was like, I totally understand. I do understand, of course. And she must have just taken pity on me, because she just suddenly got up, went to another door, said something, and then just called me through and said he'll see you. So I saw the doctor. He was absolutely lovely. He checked me all over thoroughly, checked my wounds. Obviously he was quite happy that the vet had cleaned them the night before. There's there's little scrapes all over, but I've got 3 main puncture wounds where the dog's teeth went right in. I was given antibiotics, dressings, iodine, that kind of thing. So he gave me a prescription. So to see the doctor and get the prescription was €26. I then had to take it to the pharmacy, and they dispensed me with 2 huge boxes of antibiotics.
Was, wasn't it?
So much antibiotics, and it's all in like little sachets. Dressings, iodine, and some swabs, and that in its entirety came to €30. So it wasn't that bad, but what the doctor did say was that I must go to the hospital, and I should definitely see a doctor at the hospital for rabies. So
yeah, that was a palaver in itself, wasn't
that
it?
was. Again though, Dax, there's a hospital here. So they said, yeah, just go over. So it's what, about 3 minutes away? Okay, we're getting to the end of what we need to get done today. I'm at the hospital now, so it's I need to get my that's the mortuary, must be around there. I need to go and get a rabies jab now, so I'm going to go into the hospital, dazzle them with my Fringlish, and see if I can get myself sorted out. And I'm on antibiotics, she's on antibiotics and whatever, and just need to sort out the rabies and tetanus now. So wish me luck. I'll probably have to stop filming. It's a hospital, so you can't really film in these places, but we'll be giving you a full breakdown of what you do when everything goes wrong medically in France. Anyway, see you in a minute. Got to the hospital, went in, had to speak to about 4 different people, eventually went up to the unit where they deal with diseases for travellers. Eventually spoke to a doctor who wasn't that thrilled with having somebody turn up at 5 o'clock who couldn't speak massive French and she could speak no English. Blundered our way through the consultation, but the short of it is she felt I didn't need rabies because the dog was in France and they do not have rabies in France. So she did give me the number for a specialist unit in Pau, because what happens is with rabies it's a series of 3, I think, or 4, I can't remember, vaccinations, but the first one has to be done at a main unit, and then I could go there for the rest if I needed it. But she said, seriously, don't think you need to worry about that. So I'm not. I'm not. She didn't think, even if I contacted that hospital though, that they would say I needed it. So I'm quite happy to go with her opinion on this.
Yep, so after we admitted Dolly, we were waiting for a phone call the following day, and we had a call about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, while I was in the doctor's actually.
So we had a call at 3 o'clock to come and pick up Dolly, so we went to get her at 4 o'clock. Yep.
Just waiting for Dolly now, aren't we?
Waiting on Dolly. She can hear us. She knows we're
Yeah,
here.
she's squeaking. We've just paid the bill, so...
Yeah, so what was the total?
Do you know what? I can't remember.
Wasn't it like 120 last night?
No, 160 something last night.
160, and then this was 313.
Yeah.
413. So that's 473 euros.
Oh well.
Hey
ho.
As long as we get in her back, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
She's insured, and even if she wasn't insured, it's a no-brainer.
Well, she came to the best place possible, didn't she?
Well, to get admitted last night, seen, and surgery this morning.
Mm.
Hello, puppy. Hello, puppy.
Baby.
Hey, good girl. There you go.
We see that little leg.
That's right
Oh,
here.
puppy, gently,
So you
gently.
can check it.
Yeah.
Good girl.
There is a little bit of blood because it's normal.
That's good girl.
No, sweetheart.
Gently,
Don't you puff, darling.
gently. She came in to see her. She's got this great big cone of shame,
Yeah.
and you know, my eyes were drawn to her little puppy eyes, and then it was like, wow, look at that.
Yeah, look at the size of
Look
it.
at the incision on the side, because it sounds a bit grisly. The skin flap that had come off, the edges had started to
Yeah, they'd gone
to
necrotic.
dry out. They couldn't reseal it, so they had to cut some
She's
skin into
basically
stitches.
had a thigh lift, doesn't she?
She's
I
had
should have asked them if they could book me in, and I could have had one as
She's-
well.
she's
But
had a
yeah,
bit of a-
Dolly's had a free nip and tuck actually.
She's had a nip and tuck. But all told, the whole process, it was very traumatic, but it came to 470 euros.
Yeah,
Now, she is insured with Tesco, so we are going to start that claim process.
yeah,
And what I would say is the vets in France, we gave them the claim form, and they filled everything out for us, and we can email it straight to Tesco's. And Tesco's don't mind if it's in French.
yep.
They can interpret it, no problem at all. So we'll start that, and we'll keep you updated as to how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, because she's 8 years old, we've got a co-pay on it, and
Sorry, I think her medications are kicking in. She really is
I
stinking
know
down
it's
there.
yeah, it's the antibiotics.
Oh, blimey, sorry, my eyes are watering.
It's the antibiotics.
Oh,
I
it's lovely
think.
to have you back, pet, but wow.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Sorry.
Yeah, so where were we? But we are going to get some of the money back, aren't we? So that's good to know. We'll get some of it back. We won't get all of it back.
No, and even
But
with...
even if we get half back, it's something, isn't it?
It's just something.
But we would have paid anything at that particular point. You know, she gave us the quote, and we were like, "What? Yep, whatever." We'd have paid anything just to have her put right.
I think
it was,
UK, you could probably triple it and more
oh,
for
definitely.
emergencies. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if any of you have ever had this happen in the UK, I mean, what was your bill? How much did you end up paying to a UK vet? It'd be interesting to know the difference between a dog attack and a French vet, and the same thing happening in the UK, because UK will just rip you off.
And with regards to your hand, we've got the GHIC,
Yeah.
and they took the details off of it, but what that enables you to do is to have treatment at the same level as
A resident.
So whatever you pay, they would traditionally pay.
Yeah.
But we also have health insurance as well, so we can put a claim in for that. I mean, don't get me
I don't
wrong.
think it'll be worth it, to be honest, because it doesn't
Well,
add up to a lot, and probably the excess is more than that. So
it's just... it is what it is.
whatever.
It's there, isn't it? Who cares?
We're all on the mend. Since I've started taking the antibiotics, the swelling has started to go down in my fingers, which were like turning into sausages. But yeah, we really are all on the mend. It has shaken us, but it's not put us off. We're going to carry on with our journey. Unfortunately, our journey is going to have to stay in France. until at least the 16th of January, because Dolly's got a couple more appointments with the vet, so she'll be signed off on the 15th, we understand, and then we'll just go to Spain at that point. But yeah, so we get to explore around here, don't we?
Yeah, and you know,
Which might be quite nice.
It's a nice area.
It is a nice area.
It's a lovely town, and there's an awful lot here.
Yeah.
So I guess that is the silver lining in the cloud. But
yeah, we hope Dolly isn't going to be too affected by this when it comes to meeting other dogs. She's always been a real chilled, happy-go-lucky girl. Nothing's really ever fazed her that much, and we hope, although I don't, to be honest, hold out much hope that it's going to be safe. And it's affected me as well, because it makes me worry about taking them out for walks again, because I have to admit I am frightened of this happening again, because there's nothing we could have done differently other than just not being there. That was the only thing, wasn't it?
no, we were just in the wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah. We're going to bounce back though. We'll bounce back. By Sunday's video, we're going to bounce back.
Yeah, we'll be back to normal, where we
Yeah.
can put up the usual videos and so forth. But like I said, we shared it, and one of the most useful things I found was we put Corin's phone on speakerphone, and I put mine next to it on Google Translate, and everything that was said on the answer machine message, including the emergency number, was translated to my phone in English. So we had the phone numbers there and what they said on hand.
Yeah, I think without Google, yesterday would have been a bit difficult. But
We would have struggled. So loudspeaker, Google Translate, spot on. Were totally our fault. We're not fluent in French enough to understand fully what's being said. So we're going to work on that.
yeah,
This is an experience that's pushing me to say we are going to learn more French.
yeah, you should learn more French. I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. I can understand quite a bit,
Yeah,
and I
I
can
know.
talk more than you.
Baguette and croissant, I know.
Yeah, baguette and croissant weren't cutting it yesterday.
No. But
So yeah, I think one of the main things as well, we were feeling really down about this, and the messages and support we've had from you guys has just been absolutely incredible. I mean, you know, we've been close to tears sometimes. It's just been so touching the way you've reached out to us and you've cared and you've asked about Dolly, and it's been fantastic. We've been so touched, haven't we?
yes, it's been absolutely amazing,
yeah.
and it has been quite an emotional journey. We didn't realise how many of you guys are out there
Who care, yeah.
who care. You know, I know it's just another couple on YouTube and so forth, but really do appreciate your comments and your
Yeah.
kind gestures and your personal messages.
Yeah.
You know, we try to answer them all, but we've been a little bit...
We've failed with that over the last couple of days.
Yeah,
I
we've
mean,
lost the wind out of ourselves, but we're getting there.
If you've messaged us or you've put a comment onto any of our posts, we can promise you we have read them, and we do see who you are, and we just, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you, really. It means a lot to us.
Absolutely, and it might be just a like or a heart at the moment, but we'll get back there. We've just had so much on our plate at the moment, but it's becoming a little bit more settled.
And I have to say, we've got a couple of mentions we need to just say. We've had a few buy me a coffee, which is, you know, just people saying, just, you know, take care of yourself, look after yourself, and
Well, it's been buying me a coffee and buy a dog treat too.
yeah, Dolly has been, you know, bought so many dog treats. She's going to be good. So
And they haven't gone without. They've been following me around quite a lot, haven't they?
yeah, so John and Ronnie in Swansea, we want to say thank you to you guys for sending us money for a coffee.
Thank you.
And for the girls. Sorry the weather's not so good in Swansea, but
That's about predictable for Wales. We know all about that, don't we?
It is. Thank you very much to Christine. She also sent us money for Dolly and sent us her best wishes.
Thank you, yeah. Thank you to Guy and Michelle. They sent us some money as well for buying me a coffee. It really is so much appreciated and means a lot to us. And also Rob and Elaine. They also sent us money for buying me a coffee as well. So thank you very much for that and your personal messages. They really do mean a lot to us.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so touching just to have the messages, but obviously with these on top, just, you know, you're thinking of us. Yeah, like I said, we've had a little tear here and there over the last couple of days.
We have, and you know, we had a great journey into the new year. We sat down with FieldView Adventures.
Yeah, we had a brilliant time with those guys.
We met Stephen, Catherine and Zach and Little Boo. We were having an amazing time.
All started so well.
It started really well, lovely to meet them. They set off on their travels back to the UK, moving nearer to the port, and we thought, well, let's go for a walk down the beach. It's New Year's Day after all, and there we go, it unfolded from there.
We draw a line under this now, and it'll be back to more normal service on Sunday. I think we're bouncing back. We're going to be fine. Health-wise, we're going to be fine as well. We just want to, you know, just pop on here, how it all played out, and I think that's it. I think we'll see you on Sunday, and we're going to be our cheery selves again on Sunday.
Yeah, we've tried in this one, so if we're a bit glum, it's because...
I know, yeah, we're not normally this down. We very much are glass half full people, but this has knocked us a little bit. But by Sunday, we're going to be completely back on form and back to ourselves, and giving you the tips and the hints for travel, and taking you hopefully to some interesting places around the Pyrenees and Biarritz areas. So that sounds good.
Does?
Yeah. Anyway, once again,
thank you very much.